Hi, I'm Hope Witkowsky, your host of Senior Scene. As we seniors age, it seems like many of us keep way too many things. Things that clutter up our house, clutter up the garages, things we haven't looked at in decades. On today's show, we're going to meet an agency, the Caring Transition, who's going to show us how they helped one particular senior downsize all the belongings. This senior has lost her husband and is living in their original home and now is going to be moving to a new location. So it's time to take a look at how do we downsize, how do we get rid of things that we never look at anymore and never use. Come on, let's take a look. Meet Renate, who became a widow this year. She shares with us some of his prized possessions and memories.
My husband was a fire engineer for 36 years. So this is one of my favorite blankets that I'm not going to ever give up. I use it a lot, in the wintertime just to put over my legs, and this always reminds me of Greg. I'm sorry.
Pulling out some of his favorite clothes to collections, Renate gets emotional and knows that giving away some of his items will be difficult to do. She is one of the many types of people Caring Transition helps.
He was just the kind of man that he loved his career. So we would go on road trips and, we'd go antiquing, and he would always look for, old fire nozzles for the hoses and anything fire related. He just loved it. He bought it, and eventually, he outgrew the space, so he would just put it aside, but he would never throw anything away because it was always, no, I might need this someday. So it just, over the years, it just accumulated to a point where now it's, since he passed.
Getting ready to move in with one of her children, Renate says the Caring Transition, which is an organization that helps seniors with relocation, downsizing, estate sales, and much, much more, helped her make the decision on what to keep.
He had an office that was just totally packed with things that I didn't even know he had. And when Caring Transition came in, and they went through his office, helping with all the paperwork, and Tim found all kinds of things that I never even knew he had. He was just one of those people. He wasn't a hoarder, but he hung on to things and anything that reminded him of his career, because he'd been retired since 2009, I believe.
Staff from the organization understand the life events that many seniors face, and with care, take steps to alleviate some of the stress by guiding their clients.
We want to help seniors and others through the various transitions in their life, helping them in the practical things, such as what to do with their stuff. We all go through transitions many times in our life, whether it's graduation from college, marriage, divorce, and when we're seniors, sometimes our body causes us to make transitions into living spaces that we can get the help we need. And we want to be there to come alongside and help people, not with the medical needs so much, but with the practical needs.
We all need to recognize how much we accumulate as Americans. And one of the things that happens is we will buy a lot of items to help us get organized. And it does organize us. It helps us to store our things more efficiently, but it doesn't get rid of the things that we have. And the longer that we live somewhere, the more things we accumulate, even if we're fairly diligent at trying to get rid of things. So that is the real challenge, especially if people have lived in a place for 20, 30, 40 years. There's just a lot of stuff in the house, and oftentimes you don't even realize what's there.
Renate faces not only the loss of her husband, but is taking steps to also transition into a new home.
Her husband had died. He'd been a Los Angeles city firefighter, and he had passed away. He'd been sick for some time, and unfortunately, 10 days later, her mother passed away. And so she was overwhelmed at that point. She called us and said, this is who I am. I have an office full of his stuff, and I just don't want to deal with it. So she said, you know, can you help me? And we did. I came in, we went all through her office, we got rid of the things that she didn't need, we separated things out that the family would want, and things that were collectible that meant something to her, we separated out, and we gave a lot of things to charity.
Caring Transition has a way to help people get rid of items that they no longer need, while keeping those that will keep the memory of the loved ones alive.
We'll work with them. We take each thing down, talk about it, decide, is it something that you need? Is it something that's special to a family member? And then we kind of go from there. If it's an emotional thing for them, sometimes we will pause. Sometimes we will point out where she's going, what's happening, how things are going to be better for her in the new place.
I think the first time I spoke with Caring Transition when they came out, I mean, I started talking and I just broke down in tears because I knew I couldn't keep everything, that wouldn't make sense for me right now. But at the same time, it was like, I don't know, I was letting go a part of him. And I think Caring Transition, they really helped me. You know, they said, well, you know, maybe you could just keep this, or, you know, or give it some time. We'll leave that here for right now. You don't have to decide what you want to do with it. And they were just very concerned about my emotional, you know, side. And so yeah, it was tough.
How do you do that? And, you know, give this senior the understanding, that is, that these things are, you're never going to be looking at them.
That's something that's different with every client that we have. Some people are ready to get rid of things. Other people, they want to hold on to everything. And that's where it takes a lot of time, being very supportive of them. Clothing is a thing that we all have too much of. And so especially when we're downsizing somebody, we need to look at how much space they have in the new place. But oftentimes there are emotional things. There are, in the case of the office, he had some plaques from the fire department that were very dear to her. So that's the one side. Then the other side is all the other things that are in the house and trying to decide, what do you really need to keep? We will stop and talk. If we need to take a break, we can take a break, have some coffee. We can have some discussion over what's going on. I'm big on hugs. And oftentimes that's all that's needed. You know, they just need a moment to sort of collect themselves and think about where they're going, what they're doing. And there is sadness oftentimes, especially in this case. You know, a spouse that's passed away, a mother that's passed away, they're moving out of the area. She's happy to go live with her children. She thinks that's going to be a great thing. But like many transitions in life, it's difficult.
I just feel a sense of relief, and I feel better about the choices that I made. I mean, there's still a lot of things that I kept that you know, maybe in a couple of years I might be able to part with them, but it wasn't something that I had to get rid of right now, you know. So, and I think Caring Transition helped a great deal with that. When they put on a yard sale for me, and I was able to stay inside because they did everything. And you know, even though I said, okay, all of this can go, you know, I'd find myself looking out the window and I'd see somebody walk off with something at Greg's, and it just, you know, it's difficult.
As one makes the transition, having a non-family member to help you to downsize is a really good idea.
She's now at a place where she is going to move and actually downsize her household. In her case, she's not going to an assisted living, she's going to live with her family. She's got a guest room there and I guess a loft. And so what we've done is we've done a floor plan for that area. We've figured out what she can take with her, In her case, she wants to put a few things into storage, but we're also working with her again on how do we downsize, what things do we really need to take with us, what things can we let go of.
As Renate moves forward in life, she is looking forward to her new home and being with her family.
Now I'm going to move to my daughter's, be closer to my daughter, and actually live there for a while. If it's going to be permanent, I'm not sure. But they have, you know, a big enough house to where I have my space, and you know, give me a chance to, you know, get to know my grandsons better and actually do things with them, because they're at that age where in a couple of more years they're not going to want to hang out with Oma, you know. So I'm looking forward to that.
I hope today's show gave you some really great ideas to take a look at the things that you have in your house, things that are in boxes, in your garage, in your closets, things you never ever use, and think about paring down now. I understand that it is just invigorating to get rid of these things, and we've seen how this agency, Caring Transition, has helped our senior today to do just that. I'm Hope Witkowsky, reminding you, knowledge, it's a powerful tool. Tune into Senior Scene next time for more secrets on successful aging.